well, there's a book called The Artist's Way that I think I mentioned to you. I've mentioned it to lots of people. And I kind of knew about this even before I read the book, but if you create momentum, if you continually create, things happen. You know, the universe is constantly speaking through you.
Can you repeat that one more time? Because we're clipping that one up. Taking you guys on a journey of the music from the past, present, and the future. This is 2026, and this is a brand new season of Mambo Tales. Welcome back. We are here at Café Mambo in the brand new, fully renovated studio we got upstairs, and we wanted to start our season off with a Café Mambo legend, somebody that's very, very comfortable and very well known here, the brand and with the company, Daniel. Thank you so much for doing this, man.
Thank you, my friend. Another fine introduction. I'm so grateful. I appreciate it, man.
So how's 2026 treating you? How was the winter 2025 treating you going into 2026?
Yeah, very good. I'm in London most of the time. I've just got a place there and I did a renovation. So I wanted to kind of recover from that renovation. So I really got stuck into work across the winter intentionally.
Yeah.
So that was the plan. I wanted to really make progress with that so that I could also free up my summertime as well and be here more. So that went well. I just worked solidly for 3 or 4 months. Didn't socialise loads, but that gave me space to come here, do plenty of socialising, do some networking, make lots of music as well. Keep a good balance, but mainly focus on work.
Amazing, amazing. Before we get to the music, because I really want to talk about the music, I think that's a really interesting aspect. I wanted to talk more about the resident DJ. So we touched on it, obviously. Danny's been here for a previous interview from last season, but he's back for another one. We touched on it in the last interview talking about you. You were a resident DJ, but let's just remind our viewers one more time. How long were you a resident DJ here at Café Mambo?
I started with Grupo Mambo in 2007, so that was at Savannah. I played some other places as well. Various beach bars, all the beach bars around here, and some across in Playa d'Ambossa as well. So yeah, 2007, and solidly every summer until 2019, when I started to be more London focused and got the job with Radio 1. And now I'm trying to come back here more. I haven't missed a summer, I don't think. I've always managed to play at some point, even 2020, 2021. And this year too, back in April, I played a few sessions. So yeah, I mean, next year will be 2027, 20 years. I'll have been with Grupo Mambo. So yeah, long time.
My goodness. The question that wasn't on my list, but what brings you back? 20 years straight, you said you've been here in Ibiza to play. What brings you back, you think?
Yeah, I think it's the magic island. It's the people of the island. They're incredible. I mean, I've made so many friends here over the years. And there's a definite energy which everyone mentions who stays here long enough. There's a feeling on the island. It's a beautiful place to be. I mean, there's not really much crime or anything like that. It's just a nice place. You know, it's good. The climate's the best. The music, the feeling from the music as well. It hits different. The tracks when you play them here,
right? And
the energy of the people. Although everything's changing, of course. Like the crowd is really different. It seems less crazy than a few years back, more peaceful, but it's still got that energy that keeps me coming back and keeps other Ibiza addicts coming back.
Is that a good or bad thing for? I think I asked you a species of this question the first time, but is that a good or bad thing for you? You said that there is a difference. People were crazier before. I've seen some of the videos. Now I've only been here for 5 years, working at Mambo. Been here, living here for about 7 now. Is that a good or bad thing for you, that difference you're seeing here?
I think it can be both. As I get older, I think it's more of a good thing because I want less crazy. I never was crazy anyway, I suppose. And I've never been super into clubbing, although I have done all the clubs at one time or another. But it's most certainly changed because a lot of the madness has gone, like a lot of the problem behaviour seems to have gone, and I think that's not just Ibiza. It's generally this the younger generation don't seem as hectic or as destructive sometimes as they were in the past, like crazy, but they seem a bit more chill and a bit more level-headed, maybe because they've seen so much globally over the last few years. But yeah, that's not a straight answer, but it's both a positive and negative thing.
Okay. In terms of your residency, so he says he was a residency for 20 seasons, more or less here, for Grupo Mambo. That means like multitude of our venues, not just Café Mambo. He's played for many. What that normally means, specifically speaking for Mambo's purposes, is we've got the daytime, we've got the sunset, and then we've also got the nighttime, right? So that we have DJs playing at basically all hours during the day virtually. And I find it so interesting, that concept, just that concept alone, something that, well, we did the pre-party thing and the resident thing, but I wanted to ask you, which of the three, maybe it's a difficult question, which of the 3 times of the day would you prefer as a resident DJ to be playing music?
It's a very interesting question. I like them all. I adapted to all of them. When I started, I didn't even know what chill out was. And I came to love that sort of catch-all term for lots of different genres that you could consider easy listening and classical and daytime vibes. So I do love the daytime. It's more of a listening experience for the customers, depending on where you are, of course. But I love the sunset as well. That's magic in its own right. So and that's an art form, and it's ever evolving and ever changing. Yeah. But I'd say I'm most commonly playing, just after dark, just after sunset. So that's where I kind of specialised, I suppose, and felt the real love for the deep house grooves and the classic house as well, and those songs that now bring me so much nostalgia and bring nostalgia to so many people as well, my colleagues and bosses, past and present, and all those people who returning to the island. I think that's where you really feel the magic.
Okay, the nighttime.
So just after the sunset, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have like any memorable moment of you playing here that you can recall or recount, perhaps? Just anything. If you don't, there's no problem. But if you did have anything you could share with us in terms of that, because you're saying the nighttime was probably your favorite. But do you have any moment of of a time?
Yeah, plenty of memories spring to mind. But I noticed Javier, the big boss, he posted about the Swedish House Mafia gig. Yeah. I think, well, there were a few of those, but that was, I think, 2015.
I think so, yes.
And I can't remember if I played that particular night, but I did play after or before them at some points, because I think they used to be on a Monday. And I remember just seeing how busy it was, and I commented on Javi's photo that it was like the Bernabeu. Yeah, I saw that. But it was like I've never seen so many people on the Paseo, the rocks, everywhere, because the Swedes were reaching the peak of their fame around that time with some big hits and stuff. So that was a pretty outstanding thing to witness.
It's funny. I feel like you were there for quite a few of those really big moments, because I had made that post like first, and then Javi saw it and reposted it. But I had also made a post a few weeks ago about the same situation, more or less. It was a Fatboy Slim when he had like jumped off the boat and like swam over. Of course, you were here for that as well. Yeah. Okay? I see the images. Like you were the one that was playing either before or after him. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I can never remember if it's. Sometimes it's both. But
really, you used to do the both. So Ryan McDermott does that a lot now. I think he's doing it tomorrow. He's doing a sunset and a nighttime shift.
Yeah, it just depends on the schedule and who else is available and how many shifts you get a month or whatever it is. But yeah, I mentioned a different one this time because I mentioned Fatboy Slim every time.
That's fair. So
I think the Fatboy Slim's the most outstanding one because he swam from the boat and his boat was out there, and I was playing some tracks that I wanted him to hear as well.
Did you really? I didn't know that part. Okay.
Yeah, because he was in the House Martins. So I played an old House Martins track, which is a bit corny thing to do, but I thought, why not? I'm never going to get this opportunity.
Hey man, I love corny stuff, so that sounds great to me. Kind of stemming off of that, and I mentioned it, Ryan, I think I've only seen, since I've been here, So I don't know. Maybe obviously things have changed since you've been away. I think I've only seen Ryan. Okay, no, I'm lying. Paul Derry did it one time as well, and Jason Bai did it my first season a few times.
Yeah.
Where they played multiple sets on the same day. Like,
Yeah.
It's not as common anymore. We have like what 10 or 11 resident DJs, so they
Yeah.
kind of like separate everything around them. But Ryan's gonna do it tomorrow, I believe, or Saturday, where he's gonna play one set and play another set. Or sometimes I've even seen DJs where they did the daytime set and the sunset set, so there's no break. They just went from 12 p.m. to whatever that is, 9:30 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
I've also seen DJs that have played here or played for places here in Ibiza and said, "Ooh, that 1 hour is tough, or 2 hours is tough." I thought that was the face you were gonna make. I thought that was the face you were gonna make. I want to ask you, what does it take? What was that something you always had, where you were just capable of sitting or standing and actually standing and doing this for that long? Is that something you were capable? 'Cause I see DJs like you or Ryan that look forward to the opportunity to be able to take someone on a journey for that amount of time, and that you actually break down your sets in a certain way where you're gonna build up, versus DJs that are like, "Oof, I got an hour for you," and that's it.
I think the further back you go, like, this is a really good question, by the way. I think the further back you go, the more DJing we did. Because if you ask Pete Gunning how long he used to do sets for, he used to sometimes fall asleep in the booth. People, they used to do massive sets.
Really?
And I'm not trying to one up anyone here, but I mean, I was obsessed with DJing when I came. I didn't even drink, I didn't party. I just came here to be a successful DJ and be as many places as I could. And seriously, I used to play like 20 sets a week sometimes. Because when I started at Savannah, I played I think it was 12 till 6 daytime.
Okay. So you
wasn't
were doing the thing I was just talking about.
Yeah, exactly. There weren't many people around. It got busy later on, but when you start, it's quiet. So I could do 12 till 6 there. Then I could play a set in Mambo, like say the sunset, so 6 till 10. And then I used to play other places, Vive and Bora Bora. So sometimes I'd go from there to do that, and I would play Vive till sometimes 8 in the morning, because it was an after party hotel. So I could almost play like 24 hours.
We're talking, he just said from 12 p.m. to 8 a.m. the next day. That's what he just said.
Yeah, sometimes.
So, but what does it take? What does it take for a DJ to just love of the game? I guess it has got to be that, because when I see Ryan talk about it, he's like, "Oh, I can't." He's like obsessed with a lot of stuff. Like, it sounds like what you must have, what you have to be like.
Yeah. I used to love it. I love the music, but I mean, that is a pretty extreme case. Obviously, doing that 12 till 8, you couldn't keep that up for many days. I certainly didn't. So, but I would do like multiple sets per week, like 15 to 20, as many as I could do. Beach bars and Bora Bora, SVV, all these places. But yeah, what it takes is just wanting it to be successful and get a stronghold on the island as well, and make money as well, because it's not cheap to live here. So you want to take more sets, and it's not laying bricks or doing intensive labor. It's DJing, so it's not the hardest physical labor, but you need to make money. You need to be passionate for it as well, and want to keep going.
So your last set here that I remember covering, you played a lot of your new tracks, and I want to get to the tracks, and I want to get to your music in a second. But before we get there, I wanted to ask, do you have any particular tracks that you like, kind of like, I don't know, I'll give you an example. I'm a basketball player. If I get the basketball, I'm about to do anything on the basketball court. I kind of have certain people that know me well. They're like, oh, he's going to probably try to do this. Oh, he's probably going to do that. Like, I have my tendencies. I have things that I tend to do because I've trained them for many years. And at some point in a basketball game, Byron's going to do this. Yeah. Because it's like his thing. That's what he does. So, and I know DJs here, Jason, I know some songs he's almost always going to play. Or at least one time a week, I'm going to hear these songs. He's got Crockett's theme. He's got Cockey's song. Or it's Cockey's song, Crockett's theme from Miami Vice. Like, he's going to play those songs at some point. Yeah. Within a week span or 2 week span, at least. Guaranteed. Ryan's going to play something from Oasis. At some point in the week, it's going to happen. Do you have anything like that? Like, because, as someone that didn't have the pleasure of covering your sets, like when back when you were doing it like all the time here at Mambo. I would love to know, like, or do you still have certain songs or tracks or things that you kind of build into your sets?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a lot of classics that I play, like the No Surprises, like Chicane and Moby and these sort of things that I love to hear myself. There's this one by Sebastian Tellier, which is always beautiful, La Roturnelle. And there were loads of ones that people might not necessarily know as well, that I just sort of keep for occasion, like stuff that I found on old CDs and what have you.
No, that's fine. It could be anything. I just think that's interesting. Yeah.
But I also, everything's in key, so I keep things in key. So if someone's really observant, they may notice a pattern around sunset or around a particular time coming out of sunset. Or there are certain ones that I play that have been a memory, like there's the Sandcastles track. Like, I know Christian liked it, so I'd often play that after sunset. So yeah, there's certainly a few things like that. But there's such a range of music now, and your collection only gets bigger. So I suppose people are less likely to figure out what I'm going to play, or I don't even know what I'm going to play sometimes.
Really?
Occasionally, if it's sunset, I will plan ahead quite far because I'm thinking I want this to be the song for the moment. So I might plan 8, 9, 10 tracks ahead. But generally playing house, I'm only planning like 2 or 3 tracks ahead. Sometimes more, but it can go a number of different ways. Because when you're playing in key, you can follow it up harmonically, and you never necessarily have to follow a pattern. One song could go just as well as another, especially if it's like deep house music or house. You can sort of shift things gradually in a different direction.
Do a lot of DJs, in your opinion, do that, or is that something you feel that is rare? Play in key. I mean.
I think a lot. I think it's pretty common now.
Okay.
Like a lot of people do it, and I certainly hear when people don't do it, because I've heard good DJs make key clashes and stuff, and
really?
It's kind of if you've programmed all your tracks to be in key, then it's quite hard to go wrong. I don't really make key clashes anymore. I didn't anyway. I suppose I've got reasonably good pitch, like good ears, but it's not the be all and end all, but it's good to follow the key.
Oh, okay. So now we can finally get to the music, to your music that you create. So you're one of the few residents that we have here at Café Mambo that like produces their own music, and I find that extremely interesting. I love that. I think that's so cool. I'm a big creative person. I love creating stuff. I love coming up with new stuff every day. So I think it's really cool to see somebody that is DJing but's also still creating. And I think we were speaking, and you had told me that you were trying to create, I don't know if you said once a week or once a month, at least 1 track a month or 1 track a week or something like that.
Yeah, that's about momentum, really. It's not that I'm going to release all of those tracks.
Right, but you create.
But there's a book called The Artist's Way that I think I mentioned to you. I've mentioned it to lots of people. And I kind of knew about this even before I read the book, but if you create momentum, if you continually create, things happen. The universe is constantly speaking through
you. Can you repeat that one more time? Because we're clipping that one up. Oh, is it clipping? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, if you continuously create music, if you always keep creating, the momentum gives birth to new things. It's guaranteed.
And what was the name of the book? Let's hear that one again.
The Artist's Way.
The Artist's Way.
Julia something, forgotten the name. Recommend if you're an artist, read it. It's the emphasis is on flow and unblocking yourself and continuing to create. So because I've created for so many years, and I've met with artist block and not known what it was early on, and now I always find a way of doing something, even if I keep my routine of sitting down and I'm just not feeling happy or feeling like producing or feeling it's pointless. I still go through my kind of morning routine, I suppose, and I'll do something, even if it's just like editing some audio, something really boring, but I keep going. So I'll get the microphone out, or I'll do something, even if it turns out to be rubbish later and I just discard it. I keep going. So if I make a track every week, maybe I'll make 50 whatever tracks in a year. I'm not going to release them all.
Right.
I might eventually if I keep going back to them and changing them. But maybe if I get 3 or 4 good ones out of that, then that's a good place to be.
And the ones you're creating now, so if you're doing like, I know you're not releasing them, but you're still creating, because I understand that, but not from a musical standpoint, like from a like artist standpoint, but like creating something. So maybe I do a page a day or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's like, have you noticed a difference in the genre or the type of music as you went along, or is it all kind of in the same? And what would that genre be?
Yeah, another good question. I think because I'm creative actively and really want to be creative, I kind of look past just one genre, or my own brand identity is less important to me than actually creating. And that's a good and bad thing, because some artists become notorious for a sound.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Anima or someone like this is this sound. And they escalate their career more quickly, I suppose, because their brand is more solid, whereas mine's quite loose, I suppose. I've had multiple names, and I've created lots of different stuff. 80 BPM, like floaty, meditative music. I've made techno before. I made a disco record recently.
Wow.
And it came out because I just create stuff and I find new things. And now I started to put my vocals on tracks, because I've always...
About to get to that, yeah.
Yeah, I've written poetry and things just come to me because I keep the creative mindset. So I can be, especially on the London transport, I'm always just thinking of lyrics pop into my head, and sometimes they work out and they just come out in 5 or 10 minutes. And then you write it down, and then for years I've had them, this part of like in my notes, like all these lyrics, like pages of lyrics.
So you've had like some of the stuff that you put in the tracks now, you've actually had them.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
For years. Yeah. But so I thought I must do something with them. I wasn't obsessed to do something with them, but it seemed like a shame. So it's like I eventually find a way. Like I just had some finished tracks. I thought, what am I going to do today? So I start to look down the lyrics, go right at the bottom, and just get the microphone out, start just saying it, like speaking it, not trying to sing or whatever. And then some stuff worked out, and I thought, hey, that sounds all right. So keep practicing, do 6, 7, 8 tracks, start putting vocals on, but not being confident yet. So I would always I still do always make a dub version as well.
Okay.
So when I get stuff mastered and I send it to labels, I always say, here's the one with my vocal and here's the dub. And when I've released stuff on my own label as well, here's the vocal, here's the dub, because some DJs don't like vocals. So, and the response is interesting.
Yeah.
Like some of the tracks which I thought were a bit like, I'm not sure about that, it's making this feel a bit cringe, actually did better than the dub. So, and people said love the vocal or whatever, you know, not always, but I've had some really good feedback on these tracks with my spoken word and whatever on. So
yeah, I remember you played one of them the other day, and I was just like, oh. I remember thinking like, I've never heard this before, and I was like just around the point to being like, is that your track? And then you kind of like pointed at me, I was like, and did like this or something like that. This is my track. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I was already kind of thinking like, this sounds different. I had not heard this before. This must be. It's like, did you make this? And then you said it as soon as I was about to ask it in my head. You were like, yeah, I made this.
Yeah, so that was the one on Steve Lawler's label.
Okay.
And that was a spoken word just about the London nightlife called 5 Past 5. So it just rhymed.
And that had just recently been released at the time, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just come out. So timing for you as well, like good timing. You arrived at that moment and you sort of filmed me, and I was just saying it. Like I was speaking it as I was playing it. So
we're gonna clip that in later. We're gonna clip that. No, we got the footage. We got the footage.
Yeah. So nice job.
Oh, come on.
Nice job.
Okay. So you kind of did answer this already, but just in case maybe there's something I missed out. What's the inspiration? What's the inspiration for some of the music you're making now? Like maybe versus when you were making before, because you've been making music for years. Was it something you've been doing since you started like DJing here, or is it like DJing originally, or has producing been something that kind of came along the way?
Yeah, it came after DJing, because I got into DJing for DJing's sake, because I loved it, but the game changed, of course. So I got into production and I really liked it. I kind of got hold of Cubase version 3 quite quickly, and I had a laptop which couldn't even support it. So a lot of frustration. Now it's CPU and everything on the computer, it can handle a load of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it was shortly after I started DJing here, because I had the bug really big time. I wanted to DJ, and I wanted to know everything that I could about music and house music and chill out. So once I got to grips with Cubase and the production software, I quickly started becoming creative and just trying to produce just so I could learn as well. The tracks, as I said before, they don't have to go anywhere in the end. But I was really motivated to learn production because I knew that was swiftly becoming another angle to your game that you needed, and it was going to help you to have more success. So that was probably like 2007, 2008.
Okay.
I really started to get to grips with that, and I wasn't great at it, but I mean, the more you do it, you just get to know the software, you know the hotkeys and all the rest of it, and yeah, you're playing with loops and stuff to begin with, and then as the years went on, 2011, 2012, I suppose I started to buy some synths. I don't have loads, but I've got a Nord. I bought all Native Instruments, large piano and software, so I've got a lot of soft synths as well. Got like a micro Korg as well, so various things, good microphones. They build up the repertoire, build up the equipment, and just start to use it. You can always have more equipment, of course.
Always.
But I feel like as long as I'm pushing quite a high creative level, I'm happy. That's the motivation, I suppose. Going back to that, it's to create in and of itself is a beautiful thing. So once you discover that, and you know, as you've done as well, you're an animator, you're creating amazing things, you're creating art, and it's you're giving birth to something that wasn't there before. That's magic.
The best answer you've given, yeah. So creating for creating's sake, for the love of creating. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic inspiration. So
yeah, there's an Oscar Wilde quote there somewhere, but I don't recall it.
Was there any specific DJ you played before or after, like at a venue, hopefully here at Café Mambo, that would be best if you could, that you remember like really stood out to you? Actually, I'll make it more difficult. So we're gonna not count Fatboy Slim night. You could use another one if you'd like. Swedish House Mafia or Fatboy Slim. We're not gonna count those two nights. But like imagine, because I'm thinking, and I said this for a few other DJs, I'm thinking myself, I'm not as, obviously I haven't done this like you guys. I'm not a professional, but I just find it to be stressful, and I see it sometimes like, man, okay. So I'll give you an example. The other night we've got James Hype and Medusa playing back to back. So it's 4 guys in the booth. Those are some pretty big name DJs at the time. And afterwards we got Jamie Love, resident DJs coming on right after them. I'm trying to imagine myself as Jamie Love. Like that's they just killed it. Everyone's like going crazy.
Yeah.
The very next song has to be incredibly important.
Yeah.
Right? Because you want to keep that energy going. So I don't know. I find that to be I'm looking at it like, man, what is he going to do? In the same way, I feel like even before, like the last song you're playing before, like yesterday we had James Hype and Jason is playing.
Yeah.
So the last song he's playing before James Hype comes on, I feel like that's also very important.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you had a specific memory of a specific DJ, maybe earlier on in your career that was like, woo, if you could tell us about this, share something like that with us.
Yeah, that's a big question. There's a lot of answers I gave and a lot of things I could talk about. Playing before someone, they're an artist in their own right. I'm an artist in my own right. So I think the thought process develops over the years, and I'm not there to steal the thunder as well. Okay. I'm the warm-up DJ, and I'm the DJ that takes over. Okay. They are the act of the night, so I'm not there to look at me, whatever. When I'm preparing for someone who's, especially a headliner, like big ones, like Bob Sinclair play with all the time, and Eric Prydz and Tong, there are certain tracks in my repertoire that are very cool, very groovy tracks that I know they'll make a bed for them to go into. So I'm keeping the crowd nicely warmed, and if say I'm playing half an hour, 45 minutes before them, I will still play a few classics, but not a big Bob Sinclair anthem or something like this. Yeah. I'll play a few recognisable house classics that keep the crowd in a familiar sort of mood. Happy music, as Javi calls it.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 songs before, I go into groovy bed songs. So nothing big vocals or anything like that. Just nice for them to slot into, and then I go. Then they take the spotlight. And it's kind of, it's not quite the same taking over. And yes, it can be very difficult and very sweaty. It's a hard booth to be in because you're surrounded from all angles. And now as well, everyone's filming. So I'd say again, my thought process is I'm thinking I'm an artist in my own right. Bob Sinclair, whoever, is smashed it to the maximum. Like as he said, James Hype was there. He's very popular and he plays big commercial tracks. So don't try and outdo him. Like,
okay, that's a good. Okay,
it's good to think ahead, of course. You know who you're going to be playing with that night. You want some big tracks, that maybe some big commercial tracks that are popular. Maybe something else that's popular around that time, but not something totally obvious. Something good to go into. So I'd certainly have 4 or 5 tracks that I'm kind of ready to go in with. And remember as well, if they're big, famous headliners, most of those people are there to see them. So they do often carry on to the club as well afterwards. So you can be left with your Mambo regulars after that. So it's back to the classics. So it might just be 2 or 3 tracks that you need to sort of follow that vein where they've left the booth, and then you can slot back into house classics, Mambo favourites, whatever. So I suppose the more you do it, the more you deal with that pressure, the more you refine the skill of moving between the various artists that we have here. And the other part of your question was as well, was it who is
yes. Like specifically, if you give me like one DJ
who's been difficult to, or
it doesn't need to be difficult. It's just like very memorable. Not even starstruck. Just like maybe a pressure situation for you. Like, woo, this is like you coming to something that was maybe an adverse situation for you, and you had to figure out how to go about playing, either before or after.
Well, I think the first nighttime gig I got here, I wasn't as experienced, and I'd done a lot of daytime by this point. So I was part of the Mambo family. And I think it was Pete Tong, I'm pretty sure it was Pete Tong. And it was big. And it was, he had a laptop as well, and he had his team was setting his laptop and stuff, and I was like, this is pretty big. This is big. I must have been like, I don't know, 2012, 13 or something. Wow. I don't know. But I remember that well. I mean, because Pete's super nice, but it was also a moment that I had to get right. So I had to have everything right. So I had, I was ready in my own space in the DJ booth to both hand over to him, so he'd have his space, and I think I took over as well. So it might have been one of them where I played before and after. So
you just stay and then you gotta go back in after.
Yeah, I've got to wait around and try not to get drunk.
One of the most difficult things.
Yeah.
So my last thing for you, Danny, is I want to know if you had anything to plug or anything coming up with you that you wanted to speak about for the rest of the year.
There's of course the radio. I'm just revamping the schedule because you've got to keep it fresh. There's always new shows coming and going, and not all the shows stay around forever. Sometimes people stop making their shows. We've had quite a few new ones as well, and there's all the regulars. There's heaps of good people in the schedule to listen to. Sister Bliss, Defected, Glitterbox, Frankie Rosado, Eric Prids, LP Jobby, newish show. So a few residents as well. I was up at La Torre last night. I was trying to get Buddha to send me some shows because he just destroyed the sunset. Absolutely beautiful sunset.
He's coming here this weekend.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. So, I mean, always nice to have the residents on. I know they're busy and whatever, but yeah, refreshing the radio. Changing the schedule around a bit. It's been 9 years now doing that, so yeah.
Which we might need to talk about after this anyways, because the whole new system is different, so we might be able to do a little bit more with that, but that's we'll talk about that.
One other thing of interest to plug that no one else will be able to say is that we got a Guinness World Record from our family. We had the biggest gathering of a surname.
Really?
Yeah, un apellido. So more than 1,800 O'Sullivans gathered. It was 3-4 weeks ago.
Okay.
So the previous record was dated back to like 2005 or something like that, 2006.
1,800.
Yeah, So there was 1,800 of us got together in Ireland in County Cork recently.
Oh my gosh.
And we got the Guinness World Record for the biggest gathering of a surname.
Oh, a surname.
So, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, something unique.
Oh my goodness. I'm assuming you don't really know all of them. Or do you know everyone?
Hell no. No. There was Mexican O'Sullivans.
Oh, okay. So just O'Sullivan generally. Okay.
Yeah. There's O'Sullivans from around the world, but yeah, most of them are in Ireland.
Okay.
So yeah, we got the Guinness World Record for that. It was confirmed. The previous one was, I think, 1,400 gathering, but yeah, we all had to stand in like squares of 100 and check in and with an ID and all the rest of it. So yeah, that was something to plug. We got a world record.
Go. Shout out to the O'Sullivans, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Danny, thank you so much for doing this, man. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your time. Hope to see you back here this summer. We have some sets which you guys will be seeing on YouTube. Actually, some of them are already up. We have one from last year that still hasn't went up, but it's going to go up. But you'll be seeing Danny very soon. Thank you, Danny, for doing this. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
My pleasure. Big love and love to the Mambo family. I love it. Yeah, I'm addicted to Ibiza, so I'll be back.
Awesome. You heard it here first. He's coming back, man. Anyways, guys, this was Mambo Tales. This is season premiere of Mambo Tales 2026, season 5.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we've done 5 seasons of Mambo Tales. It means a lot to me. Maybe every season we're not having the exact same amount of episodes. Bringing the music to you guys from the other side. Really appreciate you for staying with us for so many years. We got another one coming right now, so we appreciate you, and we're out.